You didn't get dressed.
I didn't get dressed.
I thought we agreed we were going formal.
Well, I was until I got a new Psylocke t-shirt.
It's her butterfly effect.
Butterfly effect.
Across your tits.
And that trumps tuxedo. Well, you know what?
Oh, I'm wearing a tuxedo.
But here's the thing. Brett's wearing a tuxedo. At the awards ceremony, you are the guy, you're the classic, you know? But me, I'm like
the closeted
I'm the rebel.
One. Yes.
I'm the rebel.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of who would I be? Who's an actor that's like always the only one I can think
Lewis?
Of is what's it? Ezra.
No, you're no Ezra
canceled.
Miller.
No, I'm saying he's canceled, so I don't want to use.
They get their pronouns right.
They're canceled.
All right. Well, we need to do this award show, regardless of how we look.
Yes, we do. Are you ready, everybody?
Is it the awards?
Well, before how was your 2024? I think it sucked.
I think it sucked.
It sucked in more ways than outside and in the comic book world a little. There was some highlights though, but also some disappointments.
There were, and so we're going to talk about all of those in our Best of CBQ Awards.
It's the episode with the awards. Comic Book Queers Awards. EvilJeff and Brett give their tops of the year of 2024.
That was amazing.
I did that in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I could tell. That was incredible. No, that was good. That was good.
All right. Wow.
All right.
So we're going to be this is our best of. We've been doing this every year pretty much since we came back as Comic Book Queers.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. When in the old show we called these the queries. Which I feel it's staking more territory than I'm willing to claim. So I think best of is
There's
fine.
also the queer teas.
There exactly. I don't want to be confused. We don't put nearly as much thought.
The QEs.
The QEs is cute. It's cutie.
Or you know what? It's fine. We're not.
Welcome to the QEs.
No one gives a shit. The people that win this, they're not listening, and they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
The people who get the worst of, though, we hope you're listening. We only have a few worst of awards. We don't like to focus on the negative here at the best of awards. We like to stay positive and focus on all the stuff we've loved. So the game here, EvilJeff. So for those of you who are listening for the first time, EvilJeff and I are going to surprise each other with our picks in each of our categories that span pop culture, that span queerdom. And this is the first year we have slides because this is the first year we've moved to YouTube as well.
Yeah, so,
and
if
so
you're
we're going to
listening,
surprise each other with
you're
pictures
missing out.
and
Watch
reveals.
us on YouTube for this one.
Yeah, watch us on YouTube for this one because we're going to have reveals.
Okay. And we have not seen each other's picks, so we have
not.
It was a very tricky thing trying to figure out the slides so that we couldn't see each other's.
How to have one master slide file without seeing each other's choices, but thankfully husbands helped.
Yes, and it's going to be genuine gaggery. I don't feel it's going to be gaggery. I think it's going to be pretty predictable.
This is going to be a safe show, so buckle up, pour some hot cocoa. Don't buckle up. Undo the seatbelt, pour some tea or hot cocoa, take a gummy, and settle in, because it's going to be a smooth ride.
It's take off your seatbelts. It's going to be a smooth ride.
And EvilJeff, I've also made note of which one of us is going first in each category, which I thought was a very thoughtful and vital step.
Did you switch it around?
A little bit, so that you go first sometimes, I go first sometimes.
I did notice that I was going last a bunch, so I like that you did that.
I did.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we're going to start with some I'm so excited. We're going to start with some non-comic book movies. Oh, no. First,
let's talk about 2024.
Let's talk about 2024. We want to give some honorifics to...
Yes.
Let's start with our word of the year, EvilJeff.
Very mindful, very demure.
Thank you, Demure, for being our 2024 word of the year. Another reason to watch us on YouTube, our color of the year is up on screen. Our color of the year, EvilJeff. Do you identify that particular shade of green?
It is brat green.
It's brat green, bitch.
But okay, if you had to name what color brat green is, what color would you call it?
Neon lime.
I would call it. Do you think it's more? Do you think it's chartreuse?
Chartreuse. Yeah, I think that's the closest actual color.
Yeah. But it is more neon-y. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
not
then,
flattering.
of course,
a horribly unflattering color.
A disgusting color, kind of like a disgusting lifestyle. If you're,
you know how Michelle Visage must be reeling.
Oh, really? Speaking of reeling, this 2024 spirit animal had us reeling. And of course, our 2024 spirit animal was none other than the diva herself, Mu Deng.
I didn't give a shit about Mu Deng.
I just thought she had the right attitude about living in 2024. She was like, listen, sometimes I'm going to roll around and frolic. Sometimes I'm going to scream for no reason. Sometimes I'm going to bite you. But I'm going to be cute doing
What is he biting in that picture? Is
someone's knee,
a girl or a
someone's
boy?
kneecap. Someone's like squatting down in front and he's taking a big bite of their knee.
A boob.
A boob?
Is Mu Deng a girl or a boy?
I think Mu Deng is a girl.
Or when you don't know, they. Mu Deng's non-binary.
Pope Innocentius.
Yes.
For those of you who've seen Conclave. Okay. Now let's get into our first category.
Let's get into some awards. Yes, bring it up.
Our first category is in our non-comic book pop culture category, our best non-comics movie.
And I want to give a caveat here. This is not when it says comic book movie,
it's supernatural.
And TV show, anything supernatural we are counting. So
yes,
because if we had to only do specific superheroes, we're going to be really limited.
This would be a dry show because 2024 was not great in that category.
All right, who are we revealing first?
So as first is mine. So I went through a lot. I've seen a lot in recent times. I almost gave it to one I just watched, which was Kinds of Kindness, which I just want to give a shout out to for being delightfully fucking absurd.
Who's in that one?
That's the Emma Stone.
It's the guy who did The Favorite, right?
Yes, correct.
And Poor Thing.
And Jesse Plemons.
Is that good? I haven't seen it yet.
Watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. However, this was a movie that I think played with the idea of stakes better than most movies I've seen. Mm-hmm. And that is Challengers.
Yeah, I mean...
Challengers was my favorite non-comics movie of the year because this is what it did masterfully. It decided when to give you information, and with the reveal of that information, it raised the stakes of the movie. It managed to make a movie about a tennis match in a very low-level tournament one of the most exciting high-stakes movie experiences I've been around lately, and that's why Challengers plus the acting gets my vote.
I fucking love this movie. I also think it's one of the sexiest movies.
Sexy.
And I think this is one. There's some movies that this movie, because it was so kind of popular, this was a sexual gay awakening for many young men. There's young men that saw this movie and were like, oh, I'm queer.
Yeah.
Do I read comics because I'm queer?
So, EvilJeff, are you ready to reveal your choice for best non-comics movie?
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh! I also have to talk about stakes, and it is the movie Conclave.
Wow. I just referenced it, girl.
Yeah.
I said Pope Innocentius.
Because I will tell you this. I was dragged to see this by my husband. He was like, it's about the Pope. Like, and I was like, ugh.
Great.
I hate Catholic. I'm an ex-Catholic.
Yeah, no, we don't like
no,
religious
it'll
stuff.
be good. And I'm like, ugh. And I think going into it being like, oh, it's about religion. And I'm like, no, it is about...
It's a reality show.
It's a reality show of America's next top pope.
Yes, that's exactly what this is.
In my hand, I hold only two pieces of paper that must be burned. Conclave, it's just the idea of a bunch of celibate popes. They can't fuck, So all they can do is backstab each other and try to fight to see who's going to be the Pope.
A girl's got to pass the time somehow.
I was riveted.
riveting.
Was riveted. So that was my favorite there was one that would have been that I was going back and forth between, but I give it other award. I didn't want to give it all the awards because it wins another award later. So I had to give it to Conclave.
That's the great thing about our categories is we've designed them in such a way that we could recognize movies, whether or not they fall into the best. You know what I mean? Like we're tricky of getting all of our favorites in
if
here.
someone actually asked me what is my favorite movie of the year,
it would be in the comic book category. At least mine is.
If I was asked what would be, mine would be in the gay category.
Gotcha. Okay, great.
But we'll get to that later.
We'll get there.
I think my movie, you probably don't have it on any of your stuff.
Good. I like when we don't have the same answers, but mostly we will. This next one you won't have, though. Our best non-comics TV show. I will go first again.
You're not going to have mine either.
Yeah. This is for me. It was just watching. It doesn't feel like watching a show. It feels like watching people and like invading their life. And it's Somebody Somewhere on HBO Max, starring Jeff Hiller and Bridget Everett. Season 3, the final season of the series. It is one of the most emotional TV watches ever. And here's the beauty of it. It depicts life in Manhattan, Kansas, of just, a few characters who are all on the queer spectrum in some way. And it provides such a slice of progressive life in the middle of Kansas in a way that feels so natural and so correct. It is one of the most beautiful, just humbling, joyful, sad shows I've seen.
What's it called again?
Somebody Somewhere.
My TikTok page wants me to watch this show. Everybody's talking about it. It's always like, because it just had the series finale. So
Correct.
People are very emotional about it. But everyone says like, oh my God, do you want to cry? And then I'm like, no, I really don't right now. So I haven't started it because I'm not emotionally in a place where I want to feel the types of emotions I feel it's going to bring up.
The tears come from the beauty of human connection. If that helps.
You know what? I'm ready to end human connection.
Human connection? All right.
I'm ready to burn it all to the ground.
EvilJeff, what's your non-comics TV show of the year?
Mine, of course. Mine. I gotta do a Thai BL. I had to do, and this is the thing. Is this show great? Probably not. Could the acting be a bit better? Probably. But this show it's airing right now. It's only halfway through. It is called The Heart Killers.
Oh.
It's called The Heart Killers. I think you know what? I cut off the title of the show on myself.
Oh, I thought it was called Kiss Me, Kill Me.
No, that's the tagline underneath. It is 2 adopted brothers that are hitmen, and they kill people that their adopted mother tells them to kill. So they're kind of like mafia hitmen.
We love a boss mom. Or like a mafia mom.
Yeah. And then one guy, he meets this dude and has a one-night stand with one of the brothers. Meets the dude, has a hot one-night stand. He picks him up in a bowling alley. And they fuck. And then, but that guy's on parole. And his parole officer is like, hey, we actually caught you out and saw that you were with this dude. We're actually trying to we think he might be a hitman. So you need to try and get evidence if he's a hitman, and so we can put him in jail. Or we'll revoke your parole and put you back in jail.
Oh my God.
So he's now dating this guy, but also trying to secretly put him in jail. And then his friend starts dating the other brother. And so they end up, and then the other brother finds out the other friend finds out he's a hitman. So it's basically two regular people dating 2 hitmen. And basically they're falling in love, but they also were like, is he going to kill me? Is he going to kill me? Or is he just going to make sweet love to me? And that's
hot.
The tension. The other couple, because the one brother is like very
There's always a B couple in this genre.
Yeah, the B couple, basically the older brother is like, I'm not going to let you date this guy. I don't trust him. And so the other friend is like, fine, I'll get my friend to fuck him. And then that'll like get him out of my hair. So the other friend fucks him and he's like, oh, I think I'm in love with him. And he's like, oh, I should tell you, he's a hitman. And then the friend is like, what? And then he's like, having sex with him and he's like, oh, I think he's going to kill me, but this is really hot. Sex where you don't know if you're in love or if they're going to kill you. That's just my kind of show.
I've never
The Heart
experienced
Killers.
that.
The Heart Killers.
The
I
Heart
haven't
Killers,
either.
thank you.
I'm sure it's probably. I don't want to experience. I probably don't want to experience that in real life. But oh, come on. I mean, any anonymous sex, they might kill you.
They might kill you.
Have you ever seen Cruising with Al Pacino? Ooh,
classic.
The movie where if you decide to become gay, you probably will then become a serial killer.
Probably.
But anyway, this was my favorite thing because it just does things to me. I love how you were like, I wanted a real,
I want to feel something human,
slice of life connection, and I'm like, this
Hitman
gets
sex.
my dick. This gets my groin tingling.
I love it. Oh, what is this? What is this picture?
This is the actor that I'm kind of watching it for.
Oh, okay. All right. So now there's a picture of a beautiful shirtless man on our screen.
His name's Jung. He plays one of the hitmen. And yeah,
I'm watching now.
He's
Sold.
just beautiful.
Sold.
All right. Best binge.
Best
this is always a
binge.
weird one.
Yes, that's what I like about this one.
Best binge, it's not necessarily the best TV show, but it's the show where you're like, fuck, I need to watch the next one. I guess I'm just staying up for 4 hours to watch every episode.
Or it's just the thing where you're like, I just got to do one more. I just got to do one more. I can't stop doing this. And for me this year, that was playing Fortnite as Emma Frost. My binge of the year was Emma Frost being a playable character in the game of Fortnite. I cannot stop.
Now,
shooting people with shotguns as Emma Frost.
Are you doing it with the headphones where you're talking with people?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was wondering if you were just doing an Emma Frost
impression. No, you're playing against 99 other people online, but you're not. I don't put the headphones on. It's all kids. I don't want to know that I'm playing. Then you'll be like, I'm doing it for the
children. I know you're the children, but I have to stop you.
I'm murdering you for the children. Yeah, I mean, it just took up the most amount of my time in 2024, and therefore it is my best binge.
Have you been playing the new Marvel game? The new, like, Overwatch Marvel game, Rivals?
No, but I am... Oh, well, there's one that was like Overwatch. Is that Rivals?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. No, because I'm hoping Santa comes through.
Oh, I will say I've looked at like the character designs and it looks really
They're pretty cool. Yeah.
It looks
like kind of like Joe Mad, like back in the 90s a little bit.
Yeah. I also like Wolverine is just not in his Wolverine outfit. He's kind of in just like a regular clothes and it's kind of hot. Nice.
I will say about Emma in Fortnite, she was a villain in this season. That was the new Marvel season. She was on the side of the villains, but she is so pretty, so it doesn't matter.
We love a villain.
We love a villain. All right, what's your best binge?
All right, mine is a recent one where me and Joe just can't stop watching it.
Wait, is it going to be
The Diplomat on Netflix with Carrie Russell? Did you watch The West Wing?
No.
I didn't either, but apparently this person wrote for The West Wing, and everyone says it's very West Wingy, and basically, this woman, it's her husband was the diplomat for Afghanistan.
Okay.
But then he had a scandal.
Okay.
And so not a scandal, but he kind of got into like a tiff with some higher ups. And so he's no longer a diplomat. And she's going to go back to Afghanistan because she like kind of worked on the side and helped with Afghanistan and the whole Middle East. And then suddenly... the president is like, we want to see you, and Carrie Russell comes in being like, what? And he's like, yeah, it looks like we need a diplomat for England, for the United Kingdom. And she's like, oh, my husband will be great. And they're like, no, you. And she's like, what? No, I'm going to Afghanistan. And they're like, no, you're not. You're going to England.
Interesting.
And then right as she goes to England, there's a terrorist attack on an English ship, and so she suddenly is just thrown.
Like she's got a job. She's an important character at work.
Yes. But she's thrown in there. And here, spoilers here. The whole thing, it turns out the reason she's being brought into this is because the vice president has a scandal that's going to break in like 3 weeks, and they want her to be the new VP. So this is her like test run. The problem is she doesn't know this, but the husband does. And so a lot of this is the husband kind of doing his own behind the scenes mechanics where she's like, no, I'm the diplomat. Fuck you. And he's like, what? I'm not doing anything. Like it kind of her biggest enemy is kind of her husband. It's kind of like they love each other, but also she doesn't trust him. And and Allison Janney in season 2 plays
West Wing,
plays the vice president that she's supposed to take over.
So it's
one of those
Russell,
shows
right?
where, Carrie Russell, and every episode ends with some huge twist where you're like, fuck.
Is one of the twists that she cuts her hair off and everyone gets really mad?
Her hair is a big point of contention in the show, actually. Because she's always like, I don't want to wear a dress. I don't want to do my hair. And they're like, no, it's like a gala event. The queen is going to be there. You have to do your hair. And she's like, I'm used to being in Afghanistan.
You?
I love it.
Love it. Best Binge. The Diplomats, get on it. I think we have entered queer territory.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. We are now celebrating queer culture by celebrating some of the queers who create it, especially with our first category, Best Queer IRL. Best Queer in Real Life. This one, you're first on this one.
Okay. I actually gave it to 2 people.
Okay.
Because you know what? 2024 is the year of the lesbian.
Yes!
I gave Sashir Zameda recently came out as queer, as gay. I think she's a lesbian.
She's a lesbian. Right? She's a late
as a lesbian, and she fucking ate it in Agatha All Along. So I'm like, yes, please.
See, way to get her in here.
And also, Kristen Stewart. I'm also giving it to her. Kristen Stewart starred in Love Lies Bleeding.
Which I thought was going to be your non-comics. Maybe you consider it comics. We'll see. Oh, shit. Yep, that ended.
But she is so good in this. And I also realized I went about a couple of months ago. I went to High Tops, which is a gay bar.
Oh, sure.
And I accidentally went on lesbian night. And it was my first time being out in the wild. It was like Jane Goodall. You know, I'm like, all the lesbian cliques.
Yeah, with your field notebook.
You know? And it is funny where there's all these different lesbian cliques. My favorite lesbian clique, this is the new lesbian look, is the bitchy Kristen Stewart lesbians.
Yes.
They're all like kind of
They look exactly
hair.
Like this photo. Yeah.
They're slicked hair. They're butch, but they're wearing $5,000 outfits. You know what I mean? Like they're wearing Armani. Like I just feel like she I love her, and she's such a great actress, and I just feel like she's just a great representation for lesbians all around. I want I want to be friends with Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
But I don't think she likes me.
No, she probably
that time I've never met her.
Yeah.
Anyway, but for me, it's all about the lesbians. Yay, lesbians!
It was a good year for lesbians, and we need to acknowledge that.
Yes. Who is your queer?
My queer of the year is somebody who took a big risk, and then when the fruits of that risk were in danger.
Did you say fruit?
Fruit. She fought like fucking hell and took on a behemoth and came out on top, and is now being celebrated for the wild genius she is, and that is Vera Drew, who created the People's Joker, who is also my friend Vera. I am so I've known Vera for years and years and years doing comedy together in Chicago. I am so fucking proud of her that she was able to put together such a piece of art that is touching so many people and that is so fucking punk and subversive. And it's now winning multiple awards. This is what people should be
watching, and not Joker Part 2. What is that called? Folie Deux?
Yeah, the People's Joker is... It's like, it is the most like passion piece, like hard work of art. Like it's just, you could see the effort and the joy and the pain that went into it when you watch it. And it's just like avant-garde and punk as fuck. And she's fucking awesome. And I hope she has a lot of success after this because she deserves it.
Well, especially
she,
with
like,
everything coming up, we need people that we need fighters.
We need fighters. We need
people that are gonna
auteurs, you know?
Yes.
Like
yes.
artists. We need punk artists. And that's who she, like, I can't, like, Vera is who, when Twin Peaks: The Return was on, Vera and I, that was like our peak because we were texting like nonstop. Like anytime one of us, like during the episodes after, like back and forth nonstop about Twin Peaks. Like she just is our kind of artist. And yeah, she deserves the world. And she's funny as hell. Like she worked on she was Tim and Eric's editor. For, like that's where she got her Hollywood chops, under funny absurdists. So yeah, fuck yeah. Do it, bitch. All right.
What's our next category?
Our next category is the best queer moment. Best queer moment. And this is just from life, from pop culture. We don't know what, but you first, girl.
All right.
Ready?
Here we go. Yes. Oh, well, shoot.
Oh.
Sorry. We both
I will
tried
control.
to do it. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that.
I am the clicker for the rest of the show.
Okay.
Yay!
Mine is controversial because a lot of people say this was queer baiting, but as I said before, I chose Challengers, the threesome scene in the hotel room.
Yes.
And I am just throwing this out there because people were like, oh, it's queer baiting. It wasn't gay enough. And I'm like, no, it's showing you that it's almost being like you don't have to have a fear of being gay, straight, anything. It's just like, just fucking go for it. And I do feel this was an awakening of many young boys' homosexualities.
I hope so.
Watching this, because watching this where they're each kissing Zendaya. And then she slowly brings them together and they get lost in making out with each other because they are secretly in love with each other. One's clearly in love with the other one.
Yeah.
And that moment, watching that moment of that kind of unconscious discovery it's so fucking hot.
So powerful. So hot.
So hot.
And they're so hot. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, not so much. The one, the strawberry blonde one,
I think
I'm
he
not
is.
into him.
Oh, I'm into him more than Josh O'Connor.
Oh, Josh O'Connor. No, I'm sorry. Because Josh O'Connor was also in that other gay movie. What's that farm movie he was in?
Yeah, the one with the farm boy, the farmhand.
The farmhand. See, I'm sorry.
What was that called? That was so good.
Hot gay farmhand movie.
Oh my god.
Anyway, this was all right. So, what is yours? I did get spoiled.
You saw, and I mean, come on, no surprises here. It is when Agatha Harkness kisses Rio Vidal, aka
I mean, that's pretty.
Death.
That's pretty great. Yeah,
it's pretty. I mean, it was the culminating moment in a mainstream Marvel show.
Yeah,
like,
this was
a lesbian kiss.
And especially, and I think the beauty of this was that Marvel and Disney have been known to, what's whitewashing but for gays? Straightwashing. To straightwash stuff, so that other countries can watch it.
Yeah.
And I think because they literally are like, oh, this Agatha show, no one gives a shit about it.
It's not a moneymaker for us.
Just be gay. We don't care.
Yeah.
And in the end, it ended up being this kind of cultural iconic moment.
One of the highest rated, if not, the highest rated Marvel TV episode of all time.
I know.
The
and who
Patti
would have
LuPone
thought
episode.
if you just concentrate on actually good writing and good storytelling,
and people with a point of view,
everybody likes it. What?
Wow. Amazing.
My favorite thing of this show is watching I've seen some TikToks of like incel straight dudes were like, oh, this show's gonna suck, and then being it's like
guaranteed to be the least watched.
It's kind of good. Like them kind of having to like backtrack.
Yep.
It's great. And Aubrey Plaza and Catherine Hahn, they might
come.
not be gay in real life, but they're allowed to be gay. We want them
I can't believe Catherine Hahn is straight.
What is your I'm gonna venture into controversial topics right now.
Let's go.
What is your opinion on straight people playing gay roles?
I think that the search should first be around a gay actor because I do think first of all, I think gay actors bring an authenticity to gay roles that straight actors are simply not capable of. And therefore, I think that first and foremost, the search should be for a queer actor who I think is just going to bring a layer of depth and realism. As great as Daniel Craig is in Queer, I haven't seen it.
I have. He's great. He's great.
Yeah, I'm sure he's great. I just feel like there's a layer of depth that a queer actor could bring. But I'm not against it.
My thing is, I also think that you should, they should be the first on the list. But there is also this greater problem of you need the star power for funding. Yes. And so then if it comes to a point of, then this just won't get made, is that also then becomes, because I've been talking to people about Squid Games. Have you heard the controversy around Squid Games, the new season?
No, what?
A famous actor for one of my favorite K-dramas, The Glory. He's one of the stars of the second season of Squid Games, and he is playing a trans woman, and who's doing the Squid Games to be able to get the transition. The surgeries. And people are very angry, but the director came out and was like, and they're like, you should have gotten a trans person to play this. This is horrible. And then they were like, I tried. There are
not that many.
There's no trans actors in Korea because Korea is so oppressive. And part of it is like, he feels, I think it's better to tell the story and to show
100%
a famous actor cool with playing this part, to kind of open people's eyes so that maybe there will be someone that can come out and be open about their transness, who then can play those roles in the future.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing, is sometimes like we kind of needed Tom Hanks and Will and Grace to get it in the culture.
Yeah.
And now we're
like that interim step.
And now we can have the gays play the roles.
Right.
I think that's my opinion.
I also think another part of it is like the Hollywood, the kind of like conventional wisdom that an out gay actor is not a box office draw. Like an out gay actor can't play a James Bond. Like I think that is truly an enemy in this whole conversation. And that is something that needs to go.
And that also needs to be, but that's the problem, is when we do get a fully gay, every actor is gay or queer. It's, like the Bros. Remember, it was like Billy Eichner, Bros. It's all gay actors. It's big budget, blah, blah, blah. And then the gays were like, no, thank you. We hate it.
Yeah.
So
but look at, like I'm citing Jonathan Bailey. Not that Wicked is the most heterosexual movie on the planet, far from it, but it's nice to see Jonathan Bailey in a heterosexual romantic lead role.
Yeah.
In a big movie.
But that's the thing, is let's give him the romantic straight male lead role of something. Right. And then because he is playing these other roles, but they're more like TV. I think Jonathan Bailey, Andrew Scott, and then when he comes out, Pedro Pascal, they will be the front runners.
Hurry up.
Please come out, Pedro Pascal.
I mean, everyone knows at this point. Come on. All right.
But here's my other problem, is people are like, gays should only play the role. But then when it's like Paul Mescal, who's not gay, I'm like, I want to see you have sex with men. Mm-hmm. So that's also my problem.
So that's the problem.
We're on the best queer character.
Best queer character, you're first. I don't remember who. Yeah. I know. You're first. Here we go. Ready?
I chose Billy.
Billy? Who's Billy?
William from Agatha.
You mean Billy Kaplan?
All
Billy
Along.
Maximoff? Oh my God.
Billy Maximoff.
Oh, Billy.
I just feel that this is probably one of the biggest gay characters in the Marvel universe, and the fact that they like showed up and they were unabashedly gay in this show, and he was great. What's this actor's name again? I can't remember.
Joe Locke.
Joe Locke was great.
We love Joe Locke. He's great.
I loved it. I just thought it was great. I love it.
Yeah. I mean,
I love him.
Like, we are so grateful and thankful and joyful, and I'll just go to mine, that mine too was Wiccan. Like this, like, honestly, that was one of the brightest spots of 2024 is we got MCU Wiccan, and he's great, and he's gay as hell, and he was in a show that like pretty much changed my fucking life. and I'm thankful.
Yeah.
All right. Yay, Wiccan. Oh my
You
God.
saying,
so good.
talking like that, I'm very curious because I know what 1 and 2 are of your favorite TV shows, but I don't know what the order is going to be.
The TV show category is, did you put X-Men or Agatha first?
That's what, we're going to see.
And then what was
which
your
one is
third?
which.
But first, we need to get to our favorite queer movie. You're first.
This is what is technically my favorite movie of the year.
Oh my goodness.
Love Lies Bleeding.
Best
Love
queer
Lies
movie.
Bleeding. This, and here's the thing. When you're watching and I know this is going to be a controversial thing, and probably gay people are like, don't say this, because this might be used as a soundbite for right-wing media. I think a good gay movie makes you gay.
Yes. Yes.
If that movie is so good, you're like, I want to be like that. I want to be gay. This movie
Gay looks
made
punk as
me
fuck. Yeah.
want to be a lesbian.
Gay is so cool
I
in this movie.
Want to be a lesbian. And
Also,
here's the other thing.
These are two horrible people, though.
I don't give a fuck. They're hot. Of course.
And
I think that's
movie.
the other genius of the show is when you have horrible people, but you're still rooting for them.
Yeah.
That's
the
script
success of
and the
this movie.
director
Yep.
and the actors.
Yep.
It's a very delicate balance, because if you have terrible people and you're not rooting for them, you are checked out of that movie and you don't want to watch it. But you are rooting for them. Also, the fact that they are like, it's in the bodybuilding world.
Yeah. That's an
Watching
added
these
layer of
lesbian
hot.
bodybuilders flex their hot biceps, I'm like, am I getting a boner for lesbians?
Can she choke me?
But it's also, this is the 2024 succession to Bound. I think what started with Bound,
100%.
Wachowski sisters, with Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon, this is kind of what that's become. And it is also, this movie is also very supernatural. I think also this is a good movie to watch with Queer, because Queer is very artsy Lynchian and goes off the rails and is very dreamlike, and weird shit starts happening. And the same thing with this movie, where this movie becomes kind of supernatural and crazy. Yeah. If you have not seen this movie, watch it. Love Lies Bleeding. It's amazing.
I also love, my choice for best queer movie also is one that lies at kind of like the intersection of supernatural and queerness, and that is I Saw the TV Glow. My choice for best queer movie, it's going to show up again later as well, because it is like, if you were a fan of Buffy, there's going to be a part of you that really loves I Saw the TV Glow. Kind of from like a nostalgia standpoint. This is a parable. It is one that is pretty tragic, but it is one that, you know, pretty quickly into the movie, you're like, okay, this is about the trans experience. Like,
and I will say, if you are not, I think it may be straight people watching this or people that aren't as in
lost
touch,
on them.
They might not even realize that this is a gay movie.
There were whole reviews of this movie that never once
realizing that
mentioned
it's a trans
that this is a trans movie.
Yeah.
Even though it is so clear, not only from the story, but from so many visual cues.
It's a very gut, and also when you realize it's a trans parallel, and it becomes even more gut wrenching of like what it's saying.
This is not a feel good movie by any stretch, but it is cool as hell, and it has a comic book moment that would have been my number 4 if we did 4 comic book moments. So I'll just mention it now. The scene where they reveal that Mr. Melancholy, like the moon-headed villain, has trapped one of the heroes from the Buffy-type TV show, The Pink Opaque, in this movie. Mm-hmm. And there's this whole scene of this moon face in the camera, close up, telling the hero what is happening to her. It is one of the, like, take 25 milligrams of edibles and watch this scene, because it is one of the coolest comic book moments in a movie of the year, and it deserves to be mentioned.
Did you watch this alone? Who did you watch this with?
I watched this alone on a plane.
Oh, wow.
And then I watched it a second time alone.
I will say, this movie didn't hit me as hard because the hubby hated it.
Yeah.
And when hubby hates something,
Yeah, you don't hear the ends of it.
he won't stop talking about it.
Yeah.
But luckily he fell asleep.
Yeah.
And then I was able to enjoy it.
Yeah,
I will
same.
say it's a really slow burn in the beginning. It takes a while to start getting to it.
So
But
I said
once
that.
it gets to it, I really like it.
Yeah, it's cool. I said that the second time I watched it alone, that was kind of a lie. Not really, in that I watched it with my husband. He fell asleep, I'm going to say 7 minutes in.
Yeah.
Because it is so
It's very
dreamlike.
much like,
Yeah.
where are you going?
Yeah.
Do you want to come over
Because
today?
they're dead inside.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, loved it.
And really great music. The soundtrack,
Great music.
the score is really great.
Great visual. Like I this is the kind of movie that like I wish it's not even going to be nominated, but this is what I would give best screenplay at the Oscars. All right. Let's get into our comic book categories.
All right.
We're very excited because comic book are the first two words of the title of this podcast.
Yes. So this is where it's all about. This is the nitty gritty.
This is it.
where our opinions count.
All right. I'll go first with my number 3. So we're going to have 3 each because this is a big category. My first one is number 3. I hope you actually got to see this because season 2 did take place in 2024. And I fucking love this show, Extraordinary, on Hulu.
Right. It's great.
So
It's great.
goddamn much. Like, season 2, I don't even know if you watched it. We never talked about it.
I didn't finish it. I really need
It's
to go back and watch it.
phenomenal.
Oh, I know. It was great. I don't know why I didn't finish watching it. I loved it.
Like, same. I let so much time go by, and then the second I put it on, I was like, and I didn't stop. Almost was my best binge because I did not stop. These 4, the pics they're looking at on the screen, these 4 main actors, like they are, I think, my favorite ensemble on television right now. Agatha. But these 4 are so great. The show is so funny. Season 2 is about the main character who is the only person on the planet who doesn't have a power. Very My Hero Academia. Her finally going to the clinic to uncover why she doesn't have a power and what that power could be. And it's a great story.
Nice. Oh, cool. Yeah, I need to finish watching it. I also want to watch My Hero Academia, but I'm so daunted
Yes, you do.
by how
many
much
episodes?
it has. But maybe that's what we're going to force ourselves to talk about it in the coming year to force me to watch it. Let's do that.
Okay. All right, you're
right.
next. Number 3.
My number 3
Best
is
comic book.
The Penguin.
Good.
I was not sold on the first episode. But that's because it wasn't really focusing on Miss Krista Milioti yet.
Just yet.
And once she entered the fray, it was one of those where you were like, we need to talk about this for our show. And I'm like, oh, I'm like 5 episodes behind. And you're like, get with it. And I'm like, oh, how am I going to watch 5 episodes? I binged like all of them in a row because I was
They're about her.
I couldn't take and I will say, she was so good, it brought it up to number 3. I will say the other character, the other main character, what was his name? Vincent?
Yeah. The kid,
I was
right?
not as interested. I fast forwarded through a little bit of his stuff.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter anymore because he's dead.
Spoilers.
Anyway, this show is just nice and gritty. And the Matt Reeves Batman world, I just love it.
Love it.
I love it. It's great.
Barry Keoghan Joker. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm all here for it. And it looks like this, I mean, is this a limited series and not even like a TV show? Because I think this is just leading into the next movie.
Yeah, it like any awards like Golden Globes that it was nominated for, it was nominated in the limited series category. But I will say, not Agatha. Agatha, I think, is comedy. I think.
Oh, of course. Great.
Which means season
All right.
2.
So
All right. Well, speaking of Agatha, so you and I now are facing our number 1, our number 2, and our number 1 for best TV show. We both know which 2 shows these are.
All right.
And it's a lot, girl, to put one over the other. It really it's a lot. But I did it.
Okay. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is X-Men 97.
Okay, X-Men.
Now listen.
This
is...
Okay.
There was nothing like this. And I'll mention this much more in the show, but what do we say? What do we say about this gift?
It really was
phenomenon.
It was perfect.
Let's see what your number 2 is.
Okay.
Oh my God. We're in such a fight. Hold on.
My number 2 is Agatha All Along. I loved Agatha All Along, but there is a history, girl. There is a history,
and
that's
what factored into my choices.
Overcome.
I understand that. So my number 1 is Agatha, and your number 1 is X-Men.
X-Men.
So what were the reasons behind your putting one over the other?
For me, it's the history of X-Men is my favorite thing ever. It's my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
And we have lived in a world where even when the cartoon came out, I still was like, I was older when the cartoon. We're the same.
Yeah, no, I had a job.
We were like, yeah. We were like, I think it came out end of high school or beginning of college.
Yeah,
around.
like end of high school
And so it was very kid oriented. And so even though I loved it, I felt the comics were way more
X-Men-y.
X-Men and adult. So it was a little bit of a kiddie washing of it.
Yeah.
That I loved it, but it wasn't like, oh, the X-Men is on Saturday mornings. I need to be up to watch it. You know what I mean? I wasn't like that. So, and then the movies came out, and I liked the movies, but then as the movies kept going, a lot of these movies sucked. So I've always been disappointed. I've always been disappointed with any X-Men mutant franchise. It never delivered. This literally was like, hey, can I get a list of everything that Jeff and Brett like about the X-Men? And then we're going to hand it to you on a silver platter.
Would you like Cunty Madeline Pryor? Check.
Yes, please. Are we going to do Inferno? Check. Are we going to have Sinister? Check. Are we going to have
like
Storm lose
Emma
her
Frost
powers?
Diamond Form?
Yeah, check.
Would you like Life Death?
Do you want Genosha, the Massacre of Genosha? It went there.
An Amazing Cyclops?
Yeah, it went, and it was also like, it's the same thing where I know J.K. Rowling's canceled, but one of the beauties of the Harry Potter series is that the writing style aged as he aged. Like, it got more adult as he grew up. And this was the kids that watched X-Men 97. It's like, no, we're making this for you.
We're here
now. This is
now.
not a kid's fucking show. And that is why that one topped. Agatha is just a perfect, amazing show all around, but it didn't have the history. It didn't have the history behind it where I couldn't make it number 1.
It's so funny. So it's the same reason, but I spun it differently. I gave X-Men number 2 because I've always known X-Men was that good. And I gave Agatha number 1.
This surprised you.
Because this came out of nowhere.
Because it surprised you that, okay.
But it
spoke
to my soul, Agatha.
I love that we're both on the exact same page. But
Yeah.
for those different reasons, we gave it one. We switched the number 1 spot.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Agatha is fucking great. Oh, no.
Worst comic book TV show. I think I'm first on this one.
Okay,
so
let's see. I was wondering, like, there might be something worse.
I knew
but
what you were going to pick.
Maybe I forgot. Maybe
I know what you picked.
Okay.
So I went with one that I was like, you know what? I never got to talk about how fucking bad this is, so I'm going to pick it. And that is the franchise on HBO Max.
I wouldn't even watch it. It looked terrible.
This is about the making of a Marvel movie. It was so, like, I've never seen a show it added so much flash to it, like in its editing, its music, just to cover up the fact that like it was supposed to be
happening.
High stakes and like you really just could not care less. Like all the performances are absolute garbage. The jokes just absolutely do not hit at all. And like I thought the concept I thought was good. Like let's explore what fucking hell it is to make a Marvel movie. I was like, yeah, I'm in. But not funny.
Yeah, it looked terrible. I wouldn't even watch it because it looked bad. I think Joe
Yeah.
put it on and he was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Because there's another one where it's like the making of a sci-fi movie. There's like a movie with the girl who plays Nebula. What's her name?
Oh, yeah. What was that? Yeah. I forget.
And then Leslie Mann,
Karen
I think,
Gillan.
is in
Yeah.
it. They did a movie version, and that one wasn't good. And I'm like, I think this is just a genre that no one can figure out how to get right.
Yeah.
So you
Like
probably
it was,
should just avoid it.
like I guess it was like it wanted to be farcical, but it just
Yeah.
dragged.
Mine. Okay, well, let's see. Before we click it, you can click it, but what do you think mine is?
I think yours is an animated series that unfortunately paled in comparison to the original
All right,
series
yeah,
from which
you
it
got
spun
me.
off.
You got me. You know me.
Ah.
Kite Man, hell yeah. It was, Harley Quinn is so good. And it's crazy because it has so many of the same writers.
It has SNL writers too. Like it has Second City people. Like this
And I
person
feel
I used
bad.
to know.
I know she's not, I was at a friend's going away party and I was sitting with Brian Gallivan and then one of the,
Oh.
it's not
Oh my God, I'm cutting that out.
but it just was it was boring and it wasn't funny, and I think that is the worst. That's all you have to do for me. If I'm not bored, because I'll tell you this, I'm watching
Creature Commandos?
Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
It's nothing amazing,
I'm not bored though.
but I'm not bored and
watching
it's
it.
fun. And it's the comedy. There's funny parts. The action is good. And that's what I'm saying is, so I'm like, I like it. This is a good show. It's not that hard to please me. And this just was boring. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to this Kite Man.
Sorry. I could pass Kite Man on the street and I wouldn't know who he is. All right, let's get back to some positivity and talk about our best comic book TV performances of the year. These are the
All right.
actors. Who's first? It's me. My number 3. My number 3 is Lenore Zan as Rogue in X-Men 97.
Yeah.
She put her foot in it. And Rogue was one of the more emotive characters in a series this year.
Yeah.
Because of it.
Yeah.
She put this character through the ringer, and it paid off in spades. I loved it.
She was the heart and soul
She was the heart and soul
of this series. I agree 100%. Go to mine.
Yeah. Yay! Just number 3 is Lenore
Is also
Zan.
Rogue. Is also yeah. It was. She was just. I mean, I'm so angry she didn't win.
Me too.
Best animated performance. Who won instead of?
I forget. Yeah.
I think it was Maya Rudolph for like Big Mouth.
For Big Mouth again? Yeah.
Like, you're great. I love you, Maya, but no.
Yeah.
This, like her, I Can't Feel You.
Yeah.
When Gambit died, give her the fucking Emmy, bitch.
Like, what was the problem?
Yeah, she's great. Oh my God, are we gonna have the exact same?
Maybe.
curious,
Well, my number
maybe.
2 is a tie.
Oh,
cheated.
cheater!
I cheated on my number
Okay,
2.
who's your number 2?
And I gave my number 2 best TV comic book performance to Colin Farrell and Christine Milioti.
Oh,
for
you
The
doubled
Penguin.
it up. Oh, you
I
gave it to
doubled
both
up.
of them. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes. I think they both deserve it.
Yeah.
In fact, it was their relationship that I think made the show so great. Or they brought such strong individual characters, and that created such a strong relationship between the two characters.
Yeah.
It was great.
I think the problem with Colin Farrell is I'm just like, yeah, it's fine performance. It's just like, but then it's like, oh wait, it's Colin Farrell.
Yes, exactly.
Like it's such a transformation. But
it gets
here, in
upstaged
the
by the
end-
makeup.
But in the end, you know what? I don't like men.
I got
so
you.
click to the
Yeah.
next one. I've
Yeah.
just given it to her.
Just giving it to her. That's
She
correct.
Blew me away. And I've always loved her and everything. And I always know she's a great actress. And I always know she always like stands out in everything. Like what's the Black Mirror episode?
Yeah. 30 Rock.
30 Rock. Probably the best guest star of 30 Rock ever. And what's the Palm Springs?
Yep.
Love her. She's just Kristen Milioti is so good in this. She's the reason to watch this show.
So I wonder if we're going to have the same number one best comic book TV performance.
I was like, I wonder if you're going to give it. I give it to the obvious one. I'm wondering if you're going to be weird about it. But let me see. What?
No, I'm giving it to what I think is the obvious one. Catherine Hahn
go
as
to
Agatha Harkness.
Slide. Go to the next slide.
Is our number one. Oh, same picture and everything.
Same picture.
It is our number one. I mean,
come on. I mean, she made this series.
Miracles.
She made this
She
series.
made this series. She is a villain. She's a murderer.
And this is, remember I was saying the fine dance of unlikable characters?
Yes.
And there's not just that, but it's like the Bong Joon-ho of genre swapping, of going from action to serious drama to comedy. She can bounce back and forth from line to line, and you believe it all.
She probably gave me one of the best line reads of the. I think it's maybe my favorite line.
Sure?
Thank you. That's it. Are you sure? That is the line read of the year, girl. Thank you.
Yeah. Or
That's
the
it.
other one is wait. If you want a straight answer, ask a straight.
Lady.
Ask a straight lady.
But that "Are you sure?" just. You're like, there's a villain in there. I forgot.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's so
amazing.
Oh, she's so good. And now it is time for the movies. We love the movies. The comic book movies. We love them.
Or supernatural.
Supernatural or sci-fi or fantasy or sci-fi.
Yeah.
All right. So I think I'm first. That's right. Number 3 is The People's Joker. I've said it before. Punk, avant-garde. I mean, you watch it, you're like, oh, this is not what I was expecting. I was expecting more of a budget. But what Vera was able to do with the resources she had, with the people she pulled together, it's just a really fucking good trans story, period. And by the way, it uses all the Batman characters. Mm-hmm. It's great. It's exactly what comic book queers.
And the fact she was able to like legally get away with all of that, I love it.
Yeah. All right. Number 3, Jeff.
I have Deadpool and Wolverine.
Woo!
The most comic
The most comic
book
booky
movie that came out this year.
Yeah.
This is not my favorite of all the Deadpool movies, but it was still great and it was still funny. And I think Wolverine, Hugh Jackman really pulled out all the stops and just gave you what you wanted. For all the people being like, oh, I love Hugh Jackman Wolverine, he fucking gave it to you.
Yeah.
And they had really good chemistry.
They did. It was great. It did not make my list, but it was great. It didn't make my list because I went to watch it again and I was like, meh, I don't want to.
Yeah. All right, what's
my number 2 is, yet again, I'm sorry, but it is I Saw the TV Glow, because people have powers in this movie. People have powers, okay? There are 2 girls who can psychically connect and guide one another from across the county in the Pink Opaque. I saw the
Opaque.
It's just, this is the kind of movie, like, I don't know why I love it so much. I want to watch it like 80 times. I just love the pink, slimy, saccharine nature of this whole movie. It's so pink and gooey. And I like that. EvilJeff, what's your number 2?
The Substance.
Oh my goodness.
The Substance. I
can't believe we haven't mentioned The Substance yet.
This movie blew me away. When they were like Demi Moore in a body horror, I'm like, yes, please. And I saw this in the theaters and the audience was just so on the same page with me. And we were laughing and gasping all at the same moments. And it's a tour de force performance from both of them. And I will say the very end, like the third act maybe could have shaved like 6-7 minutes off of it. It's my only quip. But I fucking love this movie, The Substance. Yeah. If you have not seen The Substance, I also feel this is an instant cult classic. People will be talking about this movie decades from now. People will be inspired by this movie decades from now. And she is the moment.
She is the moment.
And I want her to get a fucking Academy Award nomination.
But she won't because of genre bias.
Well, she was nominated for a Golden Globe, though.
Yeah, but they do musical and comedy.
Well, it's kind of not a great... It's the award season is a little bit lackluster this year.
Maybe
so
it's
I'm
her
hoping
year.
maybe she can put in.
Well, I hope so because my number one comic book movie of 2024 is The Substance. It is my number one. I've never been so interested in what was happening on screen in front of me in a while. I was in a bar because they had a Substance watch party, this wine bar in Hell's Kitchen, and I was watching...
Oh, is that just recently?
Yeah. Scores of people in this bar seeing The Substance for the first time. It was this... I walked in the scene where she's sewing her back up with the provided needle and thread, and I'm looking at the faces of the people in this bar, and there are some people who are just gleefully affixed to what's happening, and there are some people who are so horrified by what they're looking at in a public setting and yet could not look away.
Yeah. It's great. I'm
Jeff,
going to go to
what
my
is
number
your
one
number
that
one?
we haven't talked about at all.
Oh my God. It is Jeff's number one comic book movie.
Dune 2.
Yeah.
To Dune.
Yeah.
Dune.
Yeah. Dune.
I love the Dune series so far. These series of movies, I just feel that they are perfectly made. They are beautiful to look at. The pacing, the fact that they're so long, but the pacing is beautiful. That, like this second world, when they go to Austin Butler's world,
yes,
and it's all that world because of the sky. Everything is in black and white.
Black.
The art direction and it takes you into this other world, and it is I just feel it's a perfect fantasy movie. And for me, because it's just so perfect, I had to give it number one.
I'm glad you did.
Love it.
And now our worst comic book movie.
Worst comic book movie.
We have not gotten to see Craven yet, and I hear
you think that's going to be bad?
Shit.
Oh no! When does that come out?
It's out.
Oh, it's out now? Oh yeah. Shit.
But I bring that up because I feel like it's from the same universe as maybe our answers.
Oh, we have the same one, girl.
We both do. Because mine's Madam Web. Is yours? Yeah.
Madam Web is just bad. But it was bad I will say this. I wanted it to be even worse because it was I wanted it to be, I was like, oh, just lean into it even more. And maybe I would have been like, oh, in a campy way, it's fun. But no, it made no sense. For anyone where
what
it was like,
the point of this?
I'm going to make a superhero movie with 4 superheroes, but none of them are superheroes yet. And so we're not going to actually show them superheroes.
You don't see how they could possibly ever be superheroes because they're the worst written characters.
Yeah. Yeah. The end of this movie, when she becomes Madam Web, the whole audience
we lost it.
Was laughing.
Oh, same.
At how bad it was. This also, nothing made sense. It had more plot holes.
It had more ADR than actual dialogue that was filmed on set.
And the sad thing is because that trailer came out with, give me the line, Brett. Give me the line.
No, you don't understand. He was with my mom in South America while researching spiders before she died.
The fact that they took that stuff out, I think they should have left it in.
Yeah.
Let it be like the Room of the Spider-Man movies, you know? Like, let it just be so bad. Also, Dakota Johnson.
How?
Here's the thing. Dakota Johnson, I was watching a compilation of actors being interviewed of like, what's the worst note you've been given to a director? Do you know what Dakota Johnson said the worst note she was given to as a director was?
What?
Give me more energy. And I'm like, bitch, I would have said that to you.
Bitch,
it's probably your worst note because everyone is saying, and I would say I think she's a good actress because I've seen her in dramatic things. What's that movie with her and Olivia Colman with the kid? You don't know what I'm talking about? It was directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. It came out like a couple years ago. Olivia Colman was nominated for an Oscar.
Oh.
Anyway, she's good in that, but she's playing a subdued, real to life. But anything that takes like where you need to have know what it is. If she was on RuPaul's Drag Race, she ain't got the C.
She ain't got the C.
She ain't got the charisma.
Right.
She really don't have the uniqueness either.
No.
I mean, she has the nerve. She has the nerve to be a Nepo baby and to be on these things. And maybe she has some talent. But
well, let's celebrate though with Craven. Evidently, that is the end. And Venom came out. We never even not even on our radar. Venom: Last Dance. Craven. It's the end of the Sony Spider-Man universe. Thank
where they were
fucking
just like,
God.
wow, we did all of these movies and no. I mean, I guess Venom did okay financially, but also it's like, why would you want to watch anything without Spider-Man in it?
Also,
I don't give me a
speaking of
break.
Spider-Man characters that are in these movies, I saw a spoilery clip from Craven. I am so mad. That I saw this clip. Not like I'm ever going to see the movie. No, I will because he's hot. But B, that this character was wasted in this movie. He's like my favorite Spider-Man villain. The chameleon? Like the guy that's just like just the white head, the white face. He's in Craven.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh. Anyway. Best comic book movie performance.
All right.
I think I'm first, and my number 3 is Vera Drew in The People's Joker. I'm sorry, it's People's Joker episode. She's good in it. Is the last point I wanted to make about the movie is that she's actually really good in it. So number 3 is Vera Drew as the People's Joker.
Love it.
Jeff?
I gave mine to Hugh Jackman in Deadpool and Wolverine. Or is it Wolverine and Deadpool? Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Should have been Wolverine and Deadpool.
It should have been Wolverine and Deadpool. I just feel like, I said this before, he just, it's the thing, for me it is like the Gina Gershon of Showgirls. Some people get it. Like, I know what I'm in. And he got it. He got, like, coming into the Deadpool, which is just parody comedy weirdness, and him coming in already in an established franchise that isn't that, and being able to kind of bounce back and forth. He's just great.
Masterful.
He's great.
That's why he was my number 2.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Hugh Jackman, Deadpool and Wolverine is my number 2.
Yes.
What's your number 2?
Oh, did you do a tie or did you just do one? I'm just curious.
I did 1.
Oh, okay. So my number 2 is Margaret Qualley in The Substance because she had the almost impossible task of being the other younger version of Demi Moore. And she fucking pulled it off.
She did.
And so I'm like, brava.
She did.
Brava.
But I will say, in terms of my number 1, she was no Demi Moore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is my number 1.
Which is also my number 1.
Yay! I mean, come
Demi
on.
Moore.
I'm so happy for her.
I mean, talk about a comeback.
Talk about a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been
so
here for
good.
years. Yeah. I mean, amazing.
I love her.
And the scene that you have, go back to your slide.
Yeah, this is the scene. This is the Oscar
scene
clip.
where she's going on a date and keeps redoing her makeup and taking it off. Ooh, girl.
That's me with my hair.
Intense. Not me. I've decided. Oh, did I tell you? Did I tell you I'm Dr. Filling my hair right now?
No, what do you mean?
I'm just letting my hair grow out.
Oh, fun.
But because I'm bald here,
yeah,
it's
you look like a
starting
stepdad.
to look like Dr. Phil.
Okay.
I just want to kind of. I realized I need to do a lay of the land to see where it is because I shave it all the time.
When you grow your hair out, it gives you a lot of options.
Well, I have zero options
like
because I have nothing here. But I want to see like where is it? Where I just want to see what's the damage. And then I guess
what's your damage,
Turkey,
Heather?
Get a hair transplant. No, I'm not
nice.
gonna do that. No, I'm not going to do that.
Don't do that.
My friend did it, and it looks great.
Oh, okay.
But I don't care. I don't care enough.
No, I'm not participating in anything that needs to look good except this.
Oh God, we're on comic books now.
We're on the comic books now. We're wrapping up. I mean, we saved the comic books for last because that is the heart and soul of this show.
Who's going first in this worst comic book?
It's me.
Okay. I mean,
It's me.
I'll tell you, I'm going to say this right now. I was hard pressed to find a number 3 for my favorite comics.
Okay.
This has been a shit year for comics. The
My
X-Men
number 3 is kind of
sucked.
like, really? But yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm sorry to Dazzler, but you're the worst comic book of the year.
You know what? I had to give a tie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But Dazzler is one of the ones in that tie. I also had to add Phoenix in there. The female solo, this is taking the women's movement back 50 years. No, women cannot have a solo comic because they're going to be garbage. These are pointless. There's nothing happening. The characters are not acting like themselves. And it's cringy. It's cringy bad.
Yeah.
Especially Dazzler.
The song lyrics in Dazzler are what?
The song lyrics in Dazzler make me want to vote for Trump. Like, it's... Everybody, it should be free to be free and be me.
They're run-on sentences.
And I love Yeah, it's also like, do you not know songs rhyme?
Alison Blair. What happened?
As someone, and I think it's also, these are my two favorite characters. My two favorite characters are Jean Grey and Dazzler. And but the X-Men 97, which delivered, this is what I'm usually used to, being fucking bitch slapped in the face by these terrible comics. I hated them. I hated them.
Well, they're still going.
Sorry to the people that created them.
And evidently Dazzler's coming back.
It's just my opinion. I'm sorry.
Doesn't Dazzler say, like, we'll be back in April? I'm like, you will?
Why?
In the last issue.
Why?
All right, let's talk about the best comic book characters before we get into our best comic book.
Who goes first?
I believe it's me. Oh, okay. Yeah, I have my 3 in a row, and then you have yours on one slide.
Yes.
All right, so I'll go through mine.
Okay.
My number 3 favorite comic book character of the year is Lilia Calderu. There she is. You knew she was going to pop up here somewhere. Mm-hmm. Lilia Calderu, because this is a character in Marvel Comics who nobody had heard of, even though she did exist, and quickly became a lot of people's favorite comic book character of the year this year.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, everyone in that show is
Patti
amazing.
LuPone.
They all deserve a place in here.
Yes.
But I love it. We almost, except for April, all of them made it.
But you had the Diplomat, which she's in.
Oh, right. Yes. Yay.
So there you go. My second is Agatha Harkness. She would have been number 1, but I argue that there is one comic book character that left an even deeper impact on pop culture this year. And all it took was a crop top. And that's Gambit. Gambit, number 1 comic book character of the year.
Crop top.
Gambit in his croc top, and then the death of Gambit took us by storm. Pardon the pun.
Yes.
Gambit in his crop top changed the world. Okay? Yeah. Gambit's death affected people who had never heard of Gambit.
Oh, love it. Mine, I went to the comic book world.
Okay.
Because I gave it a 4-way tie. And I chose the Outliers because my biggest pet peeve is the X-Men have so many great mutant characters, and a new writer will come in and be like, I have these new mutants. And I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see new mutants.
Here's Hazard and Cornstalk.
Cornstalk. But for Gail Simone to bring in these new characters and for me to instantly love all of them, I just love them. We have Calico.
Can you name them? Yeah.
Jitter. Was it Dream Weaver? No.
Death Dream.
Death Dream. And what's the whole
Ransom.
Ransom. I just love them all, and especially the latest, which we'll talk about next week. Calico is crazy, and I kind of love
Calico's unhinged. Wait, can we also can we talk about one? We need to mention Ember.
Ember.
Because I'm going to say it right now. Oh, and girl, I never told you this.
What?
I think Ember is people.
You think Ember's a person?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Because two things happened.
Okay.
And I know I'm being played. The second thing is they're playing me for a fool, but I don't care. The first thing is that panel where Rogue is like, how did Ember undo her bridle by herself?
Oh, right.
Number one. Number two, I posted on Blue Sky. Comic Book Queers posted on Blue Sky that panel and said, let the Ember is people theories begin. And Tom Brevoort, editor of the entire X-Men line, retweeted it.
Oh, I love that.
I'm sorry, reskeeted it.
What if it was? But here's the thing. What if, because the family doesn't like mutants, what if one of their kids was a mutant that could kind of transform, and they're like, stay as a fucking horse, bitch.
And they're like, he ran away, but Calico knows, no, he's the horse.
And they're kind of like Fenris, where their powers are like connected.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I would love that.
You know what they're like? You know what I bet they're like? Say it with me.
Wonder Twins.
The fucking Wonder Twins.
Wonder Twins
They're
powers
the Wonder
activate.
Twins. One can turn into
I love
animals, and the other one can turn into like energy shit.
Yeah. I love them, and I love this comic. All right, what are we on to next?
The best comic book moment. This is my favorite category.
Okay,
because this is where you tap into emotion.
I'm curious if we have the same thing.
All right, I think I'm first.
Okay.
Oh no, I think you're first. You're first.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So your number 3 comic book moment of 2024.
Monstro Elizasu. Monstro Elizasu.
They put up that fucking title card.
When she becomes the monster at the end and she's curling,
what
her
one
hair
hair
is left. Well, Demi Moore's face is in the back. It's just genius.
It's the best. When they cut the painting, the face from the painting out and
put it on her.
To her.
The amount of Halloween costumes that this made, I just
God,
love it. Love it.
What a moment. My number 3 comic book moment of the year. You should see me in a crown. It was the Wiccan reveal.
Yes.
Like, I get chills just thinking about it. Like,
Beautiful.
Best needle drop ever. Better than Sharon Davis is dead, Q heads will roll. Like, when they cut to Billie Eilish in this moment, when you saw him in like his little Scarlet Witch tiara, forget it. I screamed.
Love it.
Love it.
My number 2.
Number 2.
A weird thing to...
What is this? What am I looking at? Oh.
It's X-Men Genosha. Most bests are like, yay, best. But for me, it was like the rawness. And I was not prepared of how fucking real they were going to treat the genocide on Genosha.
Right.
Like this.
Yeah.
And then Gambit's death.
Yeah.
This tore. Like, I had to rewatch it because I was like, mouth dropped open.
It was so intense.
I was not the same after.
Yeah.
It was like, this is the show they're fucking doing.
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. It was so, and it was like an episode of just downtime, of just conversations, and then boom.
Yeah. Insane.
So my comic book moment is, my number 2 is also from X-Men 97, but it's a little bit more subjective. Mm-hmm. My number 2 comic book moment is the moment it hit you that X-Men 97 was wild. Like,
is
maybe
that
was
lands, when he
I mean,
uses
who
the power
knows?
beam to land. Okay,
it could have been for me personally.
Anybody. Oh, okay.
Like, for me personally, it was when he fought the Friends of Humanity and like was using his optic blast to like hit the floor and move backwards. I was like, wait a minute. Maybe it was like, give him the forecast. You know, maybe that was it for some people. Maybe it was this landing, or when they had a fall.
I think for me it was when it said Omega Mutant detected.
Yes. Like, just that moment where you're like,
realized. Oh shit.
Where you were like, oh wait, what is this? Like for some people, it was episode 2. You know, like people were just like, wait, is this amazing? So
Yeah.
that's my number 2 moment.
My number one
comic book moment, EvilJeff.
is the Lilia episode of Agatha All Along, especially the third act when she goes through all
When she does
of
the
the
reading.
tarot cards
100%.
and does the final reading.
100%. I've watched that. So just that.
Yeah.
Just that 4-minute clip so many times.
And we predicted it where it was like, oh, all of these weird things that she's saying, that's part of her
it'll
trial.
be her tarot, yeah.
We knew it. But
the way they did
so seamlessly. It's not the way it was so seamlessly put in throughout the entire series, all leading up to that moment. And for her to save everybody and take this hero moment and the acting, it was just so, it was like surprise after surprise after reveal after reveal. It was a perfect moment of television.
It really was.
Perfect moment of television.
Yeah, it was a perfect episode of television for sure. My number 1 is the best joke of the year. It was the best joke. It was the best comic book joke of the year, and it was a moment where I don't care who you were, you screamed, "Flame on!" From Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine, the Chris Evans flame on moment. I mean that. I think like people stood up. Like people. What I've never heard. Like,
I think I started clapping.
Not since the Portals in Endgame have I heard a theater go nuts like that. It was so funny because we were all. It just was perfect. It played with all of our associations with Chris Evans. Never would we think about him as anything other than Captain America at this point.
Yeah.
And then the reminder that he was also Johnny Storm was great.
Oh, so good. So good. All right.
All right. We are here.
Is this the end?
Well, we have one more after this, but this is the best comic book.
Best comic book.
Number 3, EvilJeff. Psylocke. Love it. Love it.
Only
I should have put
issue.
Psylocke.
Only one issue. I'm wearing my Psylocke t-shirt because my worst were like, oh, maybe women can't have a solo comic. Psylocke, because I'll say Storm is just okay for me.
It's okay. It's beautiful.
I love her. I love her characterization. I love the art, but I feel the story has yet to get going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I feel like they're building up and I'm like, let's get to it. But Storm is okay. Dazzler and Phoenix are, let's be honest, they're abortions.
Yeah.
They're an abortion of a comic. And so Psylocke just showed up in one issue and saved and just was amazing.
Was amazing.
And I was like, what? Oh.
Second issue is out on shelves. It's fantastic.
Thank you. I haven't read the second issue yet, but I will tell you the fact that this is only on issue 2 and this made my number 3 shows you how bad
the
comics
state of
have been
things
this year.
As does my number 3. My number 3, it's not a great comic book, but at least it gave me something that kept me interested, and it was The Invincible Iron Man.
See,
by
for
Jerry
me,
Duggan.
I felt the most. I was gonna have that in there, but most of the interesting stuff happened last year.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Emma and Tony?
Yeah.
That wasn't 24?
No, that was in like October. They got married in October of 2023.
All right, well, my number 3 is Psylocke.
No, but I mean, it was still going on within the new year. But that was all the just like, oh, we're like fighting the Sentinels.
Yeah. Well, still, the state
anyway, but yes,
it's a testament to the state of things.
And the reason I know that is because I almost put the marriage between them as one of my favorite moments.
And it was 23.
And then I was like, oh, fuck it. And then I looked it up and was like, oh, I think I put that last year.
All right, well, the comic sucked this year. What's your number 2?
It's Miss Emma Frost,
That's
Exceptional
right.
X-Men. I mean, of course, the Emma Frost book is going to be my number 2.
It's my number 2 as well.
It has just a really fucking good. It's just they're getting the dialogue right. I'm not as excited about these New Mutants as the Outliers.
Right.
But the dynamic between pretty much, I mean, she's bisexual, but let's be honest, she's pretty much a lesbian now.
Yeah.
Of lesbian Kitty and
Kitty.
Emma Frost getting together and being like, hey, you know what? Let's do our own thing in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's about the relationship. It's about the relationship,
It
everybody.
feels fresh. It feels healthy. There's great
Yeah.
oxygen here. Like, yeah, it's great.
Love it.
Come on in. Number one, EvilJeff and I have the same book.
Uncanny X-Men.
Uncanny
Gail
X-Men.
Simone.
She saved us
I
this
mean,
year.
you know what? And I really feel like I got really into when she wrote Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And then when she left, I was like, I've tried to read other Wonder Womans and I didn't get into it. And I'm like, she has that magic sauce.
Yeah.
Some people
Yeah.
have that magic, and I know he doesn't always hit, but like the Brian Michael Bendis, Brian K. Vaughan,
They be coming up with shit. They come up with shit.
Wait, why am I not who's Krakoa?
Jerry Lockstep. Nope. His name is Jonathan Hickman.
Jonathan Hickman. Gail Simone is up there.
Yeah.
Where when they come into something, you fucking
There's a little
pay
something
attention.
extra going on.
You
Yeah.
pay attention because it's just, and making Rogue the heart and center of the team. Oh, yes.
You know, this came to me. This is why making Rogue the center of the team is such a good choice. By the nature of Rogue's power and history, she has pretty much touched every X-Man at this point.
Literally.
So they're in her head. So she has got a deep, intimate rapport and understanding of each one of her friends, of each one of these people. Of course she should be the leader. She's the only one that literally can empathize and understand where everyone else is coming from. She's the only choice for leader in some ways.
And this latest issue of Uncanny with Cyclops versus Rogue and seeing the different leader styles and how Cyclops is being a whiny bitch that she just won't stand down. She's like, no.
Yeah, fuck you.
No. Sorry. I'm
Yeah.
going to do what I want. He's like, just listen to me.
Listen to
And
me.
She's like, no.
No. Yeah.
It's great. And the art. What's
David
their name
Marquez.
again? Marquez. The art, it's now in my top 5 favorite artists that have done the X-Men.
Thank goodness
Number
for this
one will
book.
always be Mark Silvestri. No one will ever be Mark Silvestri.
But this is kind of the same spirit.
But that's where the Pepe Larraz and now Marquez.
Yeah.
Great. Love it.
Yeah. And finally, our final, it's sort of our bonus award. Best comic book is really the award.
Yes.
It's the best picture of this show. But we like to do one more, and that's our entertainer of the year.
Yes. We started with some non-comic book stuff. Let's end with some non-comic-y stuff.
And
who's the person that, what was your definition of entertainer?
Like this was the sentence I said to myself. She kind of already was in contention when she said, say that shit with your chest. But then she starred in Wicked. And I'm sorry, but Ariana Grande, untouchable this year.
Shit.
Album, sickening. Wicked, nailed it. She is on top of the world. She is giving, and giving in 2024.
Yeah, and she's
Ariana
taking other people's husbands, and nobody cares. Her performance is so good, no one cares.
So that's
destroyed a
entertainment,
marriage.
baby. What do we want? Healthy marriages in Hollywood? No, we want drama.
Yeah. I also chose a pop star.
You did? Did
I
you go with
did.
Charlie?
No.
Chapo!
I went with Chapel Roan.
Nice. I almost did too.
You're more Charlie over Chapel, I feel.
No, I'm big Chapel. I'm big.
Are you Chapel over Charlie?
Am I Chapel over Charlie?
Would you put
in terms of
which
what I
album
listen
would
to?
you which
in terms
album
of what I
would
like
you put
groove
over?
out to?
Yeah.
Like, yes. However, Von Dutch was my song of the year.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah, for me,
but
Good Luck
Midwest
Babe.
Princess was what I listened to the most from an album perspective.
Yeah, and Good Luck Babe, which is so crazy. That's her next album.
Yeah,
which still
I know. Do you know
come out soon.
Do you know what my number one Chapel? It is the most iconic. I fucking love it. Like, I can't believe she wrote this song. My Kink is Karma. My Kink is Karma may be over Von Dutch.
My Kink is Karma is my favorite song after it goes Good Luck Babe, My Kink is My Karma, and then Pink Pony Club.
Yeah,
are my favorite. But I love every song on that album.
Coffee,
and
Casual.
Even like Naked in Manhattan. I love
Naked,
it all.
Oh, please, love it all.
But the way that she blew up so fast,
and the way that she handled paparazzi.
And the fact that she's like a total cunt. And I will say, some people are like, oh, it's so off-putting. And I'm like, she doesn't care. Because I think she's
refreshing.
I think she's kind of like, you know what? This fame stuff kind of sucks. Take it away from me.
This is all extra.
I don't give a fuck.
Like,
I'm not going to play the game, and I'm just going to be a cunt.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Be a cunt. She was on Sabrina Carpenter's Christmas special, singing Last Christmas. Love her.
She calls this album The Project, which to me is such a shrewd pop culture move in that she's separating herself. She's separating the art from the artist by
that's what she made the persona
Project.
Chaperone.
Yeah,
because that's not even her name. Isn't she like Rosalie?
It's just a great way to keep things at distance.
For me, where she changed it, the first time I listened to Good Luck Babe, I saw a performance at Coachella, it was one of those. And it was actually what she said before she started singing the song. And she goes, this next song is for my ex, because I know you're listening. And I just want to let you know all of the bad stuff that's happening to you now, it's not because of karma. It's because of me. And she sang that song. And I was like, and when I heard that song, I was like, oh, this is I don't think there's been a good break. Not since You Ought to Know has there been as good of a breakup song as Good Luck Babe.
Yeah. Listen, these divas. This was the year of the diva. Here we are debating Ariana,
lesbians.
Charlie.
I'm all about
Chapel,
lesbians. Wicked, Chaperone, Charlie XCX, Sabrina Carpenter,
The Substance.
Women, The Substance, Agatha All Along, all women.
Lesbians.
The Substance, lesbians.
Honestly, the entertainer of the year was lesbians. Let's be honest.
Let's
be honest, okay?
Let's be honest. What a
Thank
great
you,
way
lesbians, for 2024. Thank you. And bisexuals.
Yeah, gays are out.
Gays are out. Lesbians and bisexuals. And trans is in.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much for listening.
Brett. And thank you, Brett, for always being here.
You're my entertainer of the year.
Yes. Oh, yay.
Yay.
What do you think 2025 is going to bring us?
James Gunn's Superman.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about next week or next time.
We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
And apparently my wet dreams for the next 3 months.
Apparently.
Oh.
You talking about David Cornison?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
As Clark Kent.
Thank you. Oh, girl. Oh
As Clark Kent.
Oh, my God. I can't wait to talk about this because I said to my husband, I was like, why am I more hot for Clark Kent than I am for Superman?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
It's that mussy hair.
It's that hair.
That you can grab onto while you're fucking him.
Hair.
All right, anyway. How old is he?
Next time. Oh, he's old. He's in his 30s, right?
30s. Okay. I have a thing now where I'm trying not to objectify anyone like under the age of like
40.
22.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you're like 40.
No,
okay. Because then I'm just a creep.
Oh, you're 60? Oh, yeah. Hot.
How?
Oh, right. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you for making our 2024 so great. We appreciate you. We hope you stick around to 2025. Even if something should happen to you while you're reading comic books.
Yeah. Yeah. And because do you know what's going to happen to you if you read comic books?
What, EvilJeff?
If you read comics, well, then you are queer.
Happy New Year. Bye. 2024.
It's the episode with the awards. Comic Book Queers Awards. EvilJeff and Brett give their tops of the year of 2024.